The network marketing industry has changed dramatically in the last decade. With the advent of social media, digital marketing, the rise of the influencer, and all the tech platforms that promise something extraordinary, how do you separate the helpful from the hype? Welcome to Beyond the Network Marketing Dream, where authenticity and relationships, simplicity and duplication are at the core of everything we focus on. The fundamentals of building still work. Join us as we go beyond the network marketing dream.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I am with Tony Zolecki. And Tony, you and I have run into each other many times over the years. You've built you've been in the networking industry for 25 years, over $500 million just in the last several years in your organization alone.
Yeah.
You know the space really well. It's awesome to have you on the show.
Yeah. Well, hey, Patrick, I am so excited to be here. And I build a business in Modair, so I am a field social marketer. So I just want to make sure we're clear on that.
Yeah.
And it's been great. I mean, network marketing has been in my blood for a long time. And I think it's the best thing in the world.
Well, we mix it up a lot. We've got a lot of different people, some from software and consulting and the legal compliance side, because we have a lot of listeners that are big time leaders or they're on the enterprise side. But when you get somebody that's running a company, you see a lot of different aspects, and you're still involved in the field side of things, which is really not always the case. So it's exciting to see and hear from you.
Yeah, I think, right now, network marketing is the best opportunity on planet Earth. I believe the world needs network marketing today. And what it's done for just average people like me, I started off my mom's taco truck when I was 19 years old, in Chicago, Illinois. I'll never forget, I went to an opportunity meeting at that time, and I heard so many stories that inspired me, and I was lost with life. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I said to my mom, I can do this. Like, if this is real, I can do this. And she says, you dang right you can do this. And we all started as a family that night.
That is an important part of the industry to remember. And that was my story too, is that there's so many people that need a different kind of vehicle, almost in a sense, maybe not even different. I mean, I was dyslexic, failed the fourth grade twice, but my story was the same. What is it that draws so many of those people? Just a lack of other opportunities to really win big?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. What it did for me, I know personally, is it really allowed me to really be somebody and really go and create whatever story, whatever plan, whatever dream I might have shelved. Like, it gave me that opportunity. I remember sitting there, and I remember talking to the person that did the presentation that night, and I said, you mean to tell me I can make as much money as I want, and there's no cap, there's no limit, I can build globally? And I had, friends in different parts of the world, and I'm like, I can sign my friend up in Germany and make a percentage off what that team does. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever, but it really was a simple concept to me. And I said, man, I don't get this opportunity in a lot of different businesses I see today, where you need to invest a lot of money, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions to start a business. And, with this, you can literally start, for little, a couple $100.
Right.
And you can have unlimited income potential, which I thought was awesome.
So a lot of changes in the industry that are happening right now. So over the last 5, 6, 7, 10 years, it just seems like it's nonstop, and social plays a big role. The internet, the digital marketing space. How have you guys adapted to that? Talk to me a little bit. We chatted briefly. What happened during COVID, and why do you think you had the success that you had there?
Yeah, it's a great point, Patrick. I think today, if your business isn't online, you're dead. If you're not using technology, you're dying. I think what we were able to do is position ourselves with social retail, this online presence. We really looked at, instead of just recruit, let's get customers, let's get real living, breathing customers that order every single month. And, it doesn't need to be a lot. It can be as little as, a $10 product or something less. and let's really get customers virally sharing, but then also let's use social media with promo codes and, people being able to make posts and, being able to really build a network online, build a customer base online. And the old school that I was brought up in was, running around cities and states and countries doing meetings. And again, there's nothing wrong with that because that stuff still works. But now if you're online, you have the ability, in my opinion, just to scale faster, create more story, create volume, create bigger customer pods that we call it in our business. But more importantly, more people win, Patrick, because if you have an online system and anybody can do it and people can do it from their phone, their tablet, their computer as they take the kids to school, as they're cooking dinner for the family, or whatever the case is, if they can do it with simplicity and earn money that same day with daily pay, you now crack the code for a lot of people with financial stress today.
Tony, how do you deliver that culture that's necessary? We see a lot of people jumping around in the industry, and part of it stems from this social selling atmosphere. They bring their influence. The companies, in turn, some of them are changing the comp, so it becomes only a 4 or 5 level comp that they're not paying in depth because they see people jumping. People are doing social sharing. How do you bridge that working in social but creating culture in depth?
Yeah, it's a great point too. I think today, leaders and leadership is needed more in this world, and will be rewarded more than any time in history with the times we're in. And I think we've been able to create a culture where, we have a home for everybody. So we created a comp plan where it's dual sided. So if you don't want to build a network and you just want to get customers, we're going to pay you up to 36% to do that every day and pay you twice daily. Now, if you want to build a team, we're going to actually, pay you in depth. We're going to put bonuses in there, and we're going to reward you for, building a network and building a team. And if you want to do both, you can have the best of both worlds. So how we were able to scale so fast and present it where people get so excited is, for once, if you're not a good recruiter, you can still win here. If you just want to, use a promo code and get people to try the product and do it that way, you can win here. If you just want to make a little bit of money, you can win here. A lot of money, you can win here. So we really checked the box. And that was a big thing for me because I love the profession. I grew up in the profession and I know it works. And my big thing was, here's what I love about the profession. Here's some of the advancements that need to happen in the profession. And if we can marry these two together, you create, the perfect company or the perfect online business. And today, more people scale that way and say, okay, we got to shift the customers. We got to be online. This promo code's a great idea. And I even seen, Patrick, today, companies changing comp plans, taking all the money away from the big recruiters and the big networkers that build big teams and say, hey, let's put some of this on the front end. So, the majority of people, as we know, they're not good recruiters. They're not going to build big networks, but they're going to go out and, share a code or share a product or share a service. And if you can pay them where it's worth their time, now they're not doing Uber. Now they're not doing Lyft. Now they're not doing, this online thing outside of our profession because they're like, this is it. I found it, the holy grail, network marketing, and they're doing it better than anybody. And I can do it from my phone. I'm in.
This is great, Tony, to get your perspective in that role. And again, being from the field and you're having to deal with compliance and legal side and all of that. How do you feel about people jumping companies, right? A lot of changes in that space in the last decade. Back in the day, the companies I was with, like is not only frowned upon, that was, we'll hold your check, we'll terminate you, etc. How are you managing that? If somebody wants to come in and sell, they want to be in 3 companies, what do you do?
Here's what I say. We got values, we've got, ethics here. And, if you're authentic, if you're humble, if you're extraordinary, if you got compassion, if you want to do something disruptive and you've got a good heart, like, I want you here. And, the thing about our business is this, it's like, if people aren't happy, they deserve to go anywhere they want to go, because in my opinion, you should be happy doing what you're doing. Now, where it gets sticky is if you're in a company,
you can't move the downline. Yeah.
And you're in other companies and you're bringing people over or selling other stuff or going under leaders. That's when, the confusion or
Sure.
that is. But, here's how I see that is if you've got somebody who's working hard and making money and following, the rules, so to speak, in our business. And there's the rules the companies have, and then there's, the rules the field have, and every networker knows this. They know what's right. They know what's wrong. And if they cross, the boundaries, then we have a talk, then we might have scale up and have another talk. But if they repeatedly keep doing things that hurt the company, hurt the people in the company, hurt the existing business, then they're asked to leave. But I think today, more than anything, people, if they find something good, they're not going to screw that up, because if they're making money, the people they bring in, whether it's a consumer who's happy with the product or service, or it's other people they brought to the table are happy, guess what? People don't want to screw that up. And, we just ask people, hey, treat this business, very ethical, with high character, high standards. And if you do that, you'll attract more people anyways and make more money because of who you are and who you become. And people follow the good people in our business. I know there's bad volume. There's bad volume in real estate. I worked on Wall Street. There was a ton of bad volume there. You know what I mean? There's bad volume in insurance. There's anywhere there's bad volume. Right. But here's the thing. People want to be around good people, good humans, and people that consistently give value, give impact, and make a difference. So I just look for that in people. And if people can match that, it's going to be great.
So they're on there. I mean, it's hard because they got one Facebook page and they've got all their followers. And let's say they make a good run and they've got a decent team. And for whatever crazy reason, they move to another business. As long as they don't cross recruit, they don't try to take their team, but they're on their Facebook page.
Right.
They announce they've gone to work for some other company.
Yeah.
And don't say a single negative thing, and they move in some other direction. What do you, I mean, I know it's a very direct question, but I mean, this is the struggle that so many companies are faced with. And a lot of them are still, I think they're stuck in some old methodologies, and it's creating some real problems.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of, scarcity thinking where it's like, you've got to be abundant. There's enough to go around for everybody and then some. And again, I think people have the right to make their own decision and do what they need to do for their families, for themselves, and what they're.
Yeah, that's good. That's refreshing to hear. And I think more companies are realizing, hey, abundance is the key. Let's stick to our values. That's good stuff. So talk to us about the social sharing side of things. The average person, 250, 350 contacts on social. I just get started in the business, right? I'm not a digital marketer. I'm not an influencer.
Yeah.
But I need to leverage social. How do you bridge that with them? How are you helping them to get started and leverage some of that?
Yeah,
both through the back end and purchasing and the front end in terms of prospecting and follow-up.
Yeah. So what we've been able to do, it's kind of like the McDonald's example, right? If you go into McDonald's, and you order something, they just push buttons of the Happy Meal, the Big Mac, the fries, and boom, they don't even need to figure any of that out. It's all done on the buttons, right? And that's why, a 15-year-old can work the cashier.
Right.
Here, what I figured out is that you've got to give people what to post, what to say, help them with engagement, help them create curiosity, help them create attraction. And our system, and I'll say this, we've got one of the best online systems in the world, and we give people all that. So we give people exactly what to say, what to post, how to respond, how to create, more people coming to their page, building their personal brand. Personal branding today is bigger than anything I've ever seen. And we teach people how to build their brand, right, inside of their network marketing business. So we have this step-by-step approach where we don't have them think about anything, Patrick. We don't have them try to figure out anything. Like, we have it figured out. It's working and it's scaling so fast right now. I mean, the team did $500 million in sales the last 3 years because of this system. So we give them it. They get it every day. They post it. They learn it. And what happens is they get better the more they do it. So the more you do something, the more comfortable you get. And we have people with no social media background, no social media experience, that all of a sudden become social media, experts, so to speak, pretty fast inside of our business, because all the framework is there. And then they just put their gifts, their personality inside of that. And all of a sudden they're moving at a speed that they never moved before.
And what is that brand, right? For the average. So I was just at a big event, network event, did the training, all that. You see a lot of people teaching how to be a brand on social media. And I got to be honest, Tony, I'm sitting there and I'm like, holy Toledo, that's harder than building network marketing. Is like, I'm supposed to identify this target market fit for my personal brand, create the images, become this brand, influence all these people. It almost like, is there some fine line there that becomes more complicated than building the business themselves if they all have to have a personal brand?
Yeah,
right.
Here's the crazy thing about that, Patrick, is that everybody has a brand anyways, whether you think you do or not. You have a brand, whether you ever thought about it that way or not. What we do with people, this is how simple it is. Like, based on, what you post, maybe the content you put out, the videos you do, I have people do this little exercise, and I just say, put down the things that you get inspired about or love talking about, or what are you known for? And they'll put, inspiration, motivation. I love network marketing. I love cooking. I love sports. Well, I have them take their top 5 things, and it's as simple as that. And I say, okay, Patrick, start posting about cooking. That's what you love to do. Do some videos around cooking. Do some posting around cooking. You also like sports. So, talk about your favorite team and talk about what's going on in the NBA, if that's your jam, or, whatever it is. And I just have people, people think that it's so hard to put content together, but you put content around the things that is who you are. So, most people will start with, well, I love, reading, or I love, playing with my kids, or I'm a family guy, or I love my spirituality, or I love, helping, whatever those things are. We have them start with their top 5, and we have them start their content marketing, so to speak, around the things they're comfortable doing, that they do every day, talk about every day, and share every day. So then people say, wow, Tony, this is who I am. I'm not doing anything uncomfortable because I'm doing everything I love. Well, they start bringing in people into their world that are family people, that are all about, this sports team, right? Or, the World Cup's a great example. We have a lot of World Cup fanatics inside of our business. So they'll post about, their favorite, team, right? And all of a sudden, their audience just gets bigger and bigger. But that's how simple this can be. So we keep it very easy for people.
So a lot of reposting of things they're already passionate about.
Yeah.
A lot of times. Yeah.
That's the authentic part about it. Or they might admire somebody that, they like, that does what they do really well. They might repost some of their stuff, right? But it's what's in their blood. So it's not like we're having talk about things they're so uncomfortable talking about. No, they're talking about the 5 pillars that's what they get alive and get energetic about every single day.
And what percentage of them would you say are comfortable on the video side, like actually creating a video and putting that out there, or you
I'd say 30% right now. It's probably 30%, but we always have people start with stories. I think stories sometimes work better than video. 90% of people are comfortable doing a story, right? And we sell so much product through story.
Like a written story, or what kind of story?
No, like a Facebook story, an Instagram story.
Gotcha.
And you can upload it right on the Instagram. It shares right to Facebook. But the video side, what's interesting, I look at the trends, and the trends change all the time with technology, but there's a big trend with short video right now. So this is how cool this is you can just grab your phone, put it up, and talk for 30 seconds, right?
Yeah.
And you can share that short video. You can repurpose it through your Facebook reel, your Instagram reel, your YouTube short reel, LinkedIn, TikTok. You can put it on 5 of those platforms. Those are the 5 I consistently use. It takes you a couple minutes to shoot a 30-second video, and you're on 5 platforms immediately.
Isn't that something? I mean,
it's unbelievable.
It's changing. And then they work in 20% of the time they work in something on the product or usage of the product.
Yeah, very little selling. I always tell people less than 10% should be selling and recruiting, when you're online, because that turns people off, and, people don't want to be, just, oh, here he is again, Tony, talking about selling and recruiting,
Pitching something.
So I always try to add value, solve problems, give solutions, give great advice, talk strategy, talk about what's happening in my world and my life that other people can use. And then 10% of the time, right, I'll slip in about my business, about my product, right? But it'll be very professional. It'll be very exciting, and people will accept that message versus push the message away.
Yeah, that's awesome, Tony. And then a lot of the reach out becomes, messenger or text, or reaching out a little bit more personally and a little more directly behind the big screen.
Yeah, that's it. Engaging is everything. I'll tell you what's working fabulous on Instagram right now is you have those little bubbles on Instagram, and in your video saying, hey, DM me. I can't wait to connect with you, Patrick. Looking forward to talking more. You can say, hey, check out my second bubble on my business, and check it out. And it could be 3 minutes, 2 minutes of something, right? And then all of a sudden they're messaging you anyways, dude, this business looks so cool. What is it? Or check out this bubble on my family, or some of the things I like to do with travel, with my lifestyle. So you can actually keep giving them something to watch, something to view, something to find out more about. And again, here's the name of the game here. If you're real, if you're who you are, and if you're coming from your heart, you're a good human, and you're adding value, you'll have more leads and you know what to do with it. Now, it's going to take some time, right? It's patience, right? So many people are like, well, I didn't get all these leads or all these views or all these DMs. Well, listen, you're warming up your world. Do you know what I mean? You're warming up your, business, so it's going to take some time. And for some people, it happens faster than others, but the consistency is why people get better results than the others. They've got the best networkers in the world have this baseline of consistency, and they never go below that baseline. And they'll always keep that baseline, or they'll spike up at times, right? If they go on, different runs or different, things that are going to create fast momentum in bunches or whatever it is. So here's the thing. If you're just consistent, like if you did a short video for the next 30 days every day and put it on those 5 platforms, and again, you're just repurposing it. It's just going on all those 5 platforms. If you did that for 30 days, one a day, take you, I don't know, let's call it 10 minutes, because you think of an idea and you don't want to talk long, right? And you push it out there. That 30 days of consistency of doing video will reward you like you wouldn't believe, with engagement, with customers, with recruits, and with people that just become great and dear friends to you that you met online because of your content. I think the more I push out content every day, the number one thing I get is people following, saying thank you, saying, wow, this helped me tremendously. I shared it with, 3 or 4 of my friends. It really made an impact on them. And that's the majority of the messages I get, is the value that I add and the difference I'm making in people's lives. And that is what it's all about. And again, you're going to get your leads and your customers and your recruits and people that want to join you and work with you because they're going to ask a ton of questions about you. But you got to start with the whole, I want to go and really just add value. And if I get business, that's a plus, right?
Right. It's still going to make a
approach.
friend. I remember listening to Bill Bailey. I mean, must have been 25 years ago in Texas. And he just make 2 friends a day. Just make a couple friends. And social's making it easier. How are you kind of rapid fire here? Are you creating tools to help your team with the reposting? Are they using Hootsuite or other tools to post those videos and then send them out on multiple channels?
We use a app called the Shout app. You know what I mean? So that's been really great for us to scale and get people's buy-in and get things to move pretty quickly. We also use a lot of still Facebook groups, which we have our guides in there, and you can put.
So how do you address the issue that, right, use Facebook but don't be used by them? Obviously, Facebook is selling advertising. If you build some connection around any kind of product or service, it doesn't matter if an inferior product gets marketed, it's going to get marketed, right? Because they're paying for advertising. Facebook knows what the conversations are. They're turning around and creating noise for the distributor who's trying to close. So do you do anything to help them generate the lead on Facebook, but then get it into a private channel at all?
Yeah, I mean, here's our big thing with that is that once we get them set up through Facebook or we engage through Facebook, our goal is to, put them in different programs that we have in technology that we can help scale, whether it's Telegram, whether it's WhatsApp, right? Whether it's different things outside of that, Project Broadcast. I mean, there's a list of them, right? And it's what we have found from taking it out of that, from where we start, we have found the leader has picked their favorite thing. So we see a lot of them pick Project Broadcast, right, for their customers, for their communication. A lot of them pick, Telegram and, WhatsApp. Those are big international channels, that people love to use. But, we have found that, the leaders kind of like their thing, and we let them run with the thing they like.
Yeah. And one book just recently, right? Not all the old books, but in your role, anything you've read recently that just put you on your heels?
Gosh, I do a lot of podcasts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a big Ed Milet fan. You know what I mean? So if you watch or you listen to Ed Milet, he just has some great things about separation season. He's got some great people that he interviews, just very smart people. Lewis Howes,
personal growth stuff, business stuff. What's his
business stuff? Personal growth. Lewis Howes is another one. The School of Greatness. Awesome. He's got some of the smartest people in the world on his podcast, from all walks of life. So doctors, athletes, celebrities, business people. So those are my 2 favorite podcasts.
So last thing on going back to the personal development side and the culture side. So you've got a great model, growing like gangbusters. What are you doing to drive culture with fewer events, obviously, than maybe it used to be? What are you doing on that front to maintain the culture and the relationships that make the business sticky?
Yeah, we do a lot of online events. I mean, we're social retail, so we do a lot of, touching people online, and it's not the same as in person. But what we've done, the last 3 years with all events kind of being smaller and not happening is that we put a big full court press to, our online world with events, with opportunities, with get-togethers, with mixers, where we just get together and meet all the new people. And it's nothing about business. It's more about, like if we were to go out to a bar, have a couple drinks and hang out with everybody, we've created that online. And we've now shifted though back into the event world, for 2023, where it's full court press, where we're going to be everywhere with events again in person, because there's nothing that takes away from a live event. There's just nothing to touch people, to hug people, to break bread with people, to have coffee with somebody, to spend time with them after the Friday day and have dinner. Like that in person is everything. And a lot of people want it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've opened it up, and
In
70
incentive
to
trips, are you
80%.
investing the same in incentives and trips and those kind of things?
Everything
Yeah.
is full court press again. It's kind of like we got this green light. It's like NASCAR, right? When the flag goes down and you go again. That's how we're going in 2023. And so we're going to probably shift to how it was 80% online, 20% in person. That'll probably flip for us this year, where we'll be doing a lot more live events, masterminds, face-to-face, a lot more stuff, and still keep our, online stuff, but it won't be ramped like it's been in the past, because again, we want to be touching people. We want to be there with people. And I think the best of both worlds, I think you're golden. So many people, dismiss one or the other. I think they're both very powerful. And the world we live in today and what's happened the last 3 years, the person out there in the marketplace says, I want to see you in person. I want to be there. I want to book my airline ticket. I want to go to that city. That's what the person is telling us today.
That's exciting. Well, Tony, congratulations on the success. It's been a privilege to have you on the call, man. It's exciting what you're doing, and wishing you all the best.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks for all you do and your footprint and impact on the profession, because you're doing great things. And I hear your name brought up in your company all the time, and people just rave about it. So thank you.
Thank you, Tony. We're having fun. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you for listening to Beyond the Network Marketing Dream with Patrick Shaw. For more insights on building a solid networking business, visit our website at rapidfunnel.com/MLM. If you loved our content, please share, like, and subscribe. We look forward to seeing you in the next episode.